showers and a few thunderstorms. Wind gusts still staying around 25 miles per hour, that wind becoming southwesterly. Then on Friday, a high of 60. We'll have AM rain showers, and that will start to leave the thumb during the early afternoon. Wind slowing back down to 5 to 10 miles per hour. By Saturday, just a few scattered rain showers, a few snowflakes possible, and a high of 52. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Current temperature, 42 degrees.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. Is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Yes, indeed. Westside Decorating Center is our sponsor. They're located at 5789 State Street in Saginaw. Newly expanded showroom, lots of products, everything you need to decorate your home, including countertops now. Stop in and visit them. And just down the road at 6321 State Street is where we are located today. It is the office of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club of the Ontario Hockey League. Tonight, Game 4 of Round 2 of the playoffs at the Dow. Love to see you there because the fans make it like a sixth person on the ice for the team. They really feed off of the fan reaction. And the store is open right now, and you can come on in and get tickets, or you can do it online at SaginawSpirit.com. But either way, plan on being in the seats tonight, cheering on your Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. And we're going to be talking Spirit this morning. We will later on look at some of the history of the club, look at the Memorial Cup coming to town next year and things of that nature. But for now, we're going to talk a little hockey with a man who lives, breathes, and is responsible for putting together the team. He is the general manager of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club, and we say good morning to Dave Drinkle. Dave, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
And thanks for coming out this morning.
Anytime.
Well, this is a big week, actually, because not only round 2 of the playoffs, draft night is tomorrow night, which builds the future of the team. And this is a busy week for you, isn't it? Is there any week that's not busy for you?
Yeah, you do get a little bit of downtime. This one's actually, it's extremely busy, but also extremely fun and rewarding. Anytime that you can, generally the OHL hosts their draft around this time or early April, depending on the year. So anytime you can be in the playoffs and have the draft at the same time, it's been a good year to date. And it's exciting because now we have our final meetings today and tomorrow, but our scouts can come in, they can watch a game tonight as well, and hopefully win that game and put it on to game 5. So after the draft on Saturday, we can all get in the car and go to Sarnia and watch us hopefully win there as well.
Yep. It is true we're down 3-0, but it's not unheard of for a team to come back and win. So
yeah, it'll be tough, but definitely our guys
talent.
are up for it. Yep, for sure. They've been close games in the series. I think if you're just an outsider looking at the series and you look at it and you're like, oh, we're down 3-0. Saginaw's getting killed in the series. That's not the case at all. We've been in every game. We could have easily be up in the series. I know Sarnia feels that, and talking to their GM, they feel the same way. But unfortunately, we are in this hole. But we're going to take game by game here and go from there.
And what's more impressive, I think, is the fact that Lee Cunningham, the broadcaster for Sarnia, and who used to be here over in Sarnia the other day, said to me, it's like men playing against boys because of the age differential. They're an older team. We're the youngest team. Mm-hmm. But these young kids have stood up to the challenge.
Yeah, they've answered it. You look across and look at their roster. They have 9 NHL drafted and signed players, and they're expected to. They loaded up. They've traded a lot of young talent and mostly all of their draft picks to go for it this year, which is a good move by their general manager because they have put together a heck of a team over in Sarnia, and that franchise hasn't been out of the second round in their history. So they went for it, but our guys are standing up to them and competing every step of the way. And we could easily, like I said, a couple goals here, a bounce there in overtime the other night, a great save by their goalie on Hill in front, and they come down a tough bounce, an overtime goal, and we're down 2-0 after game 2.
So let's talk about that for a minute when a team stacks up like that, because there are 3 teams now in jeopardy next year, I would think. Sarnia being one of them, because they're going to lose a lot of players. Windsor being the other, and London being the other, because they all traded away a lot of draft picks, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. London, they have a good mix of young. I wouldn't put them in that mix. I know London's added a little bit, but they still have a good young core. Kitchener did trade a lot of their younger players and picks away, mostly picks actually, to add. But that's the nature of the league. You know, when you have an older team and a team you believe in and your core is kind of matured together and they're 19 years old, you add to that core to try to push to win. No different than we did a few years ago before COVID shut us down. And I don't know if we need to get into that. We've talked about that at length, but it's just how the league works. And then you reset and you draft well and you develop and you hopefully get back there in a few years again. So yeah, those teams are on the different swing, and that's where we're going to be at next year. And we're just really excited by the fact that our young guys have taken this opportunity, are competing so well, they're producing, and they're really showing that, you know, we're evaluating them too, right? Like for next year's team. So we're always evaluating, and a lot of guys have shown me that you can win with some of these players in this team.
Last year's draft was unique for us because we had first round, got Michael Misa, the exceptional status player. But it seems to me that the lesson there was that all of the picks are important, because in that same round, we pick up Zane Parekh, and later on we pick up Dean Locus and others. I mean, you know, it really is the challenge to find those exceptional players in the third and fourth and fifth rounds, isn't it?
For sure. And Zane Parech's pretty decent at hockey, right?
Yeah, he's pretty decent at hockey. You might say that.
There was some, you know, I'd like to say.
I was surprised he was still available, actually.
Yeah, do you know what? It's interesting. Last year's draft was really deep. I'm sure if you read it now, everybody would take him a lot higher. And if I would tell you that, you know, we were the smartest guys in the room by taking him at 19, no, like there is some luck involved. And there also is some system fitting involved. A lot of it goes to Zane and the work that he put in when he came here and work in the summer and wanted to be an offensive generator right away and an impact player, and he has been. But yeah, we take the philosophy every pick's important. We don't throw picks away. We argue as much in the 11th and 12th round for guys that we want as we do in the 3rd and 4th round. Just when you get later in the draft, you look for different traits. What does a player do? If they can do one thing extremely well, can we build the rest of his game out? Dean Locus, great example. Brian Prout deserves all the credit for that pick. He found him Calumet, Michigan High School. That's a long way north. Not a lot of teams knew who he was, and Brian identified him, brought me out to watch him play, and Brian believed him and said, hey, if you believe in him, I trust him, obviously, and let's draft him. We took him later in the draft, but one thing Dean did well, he had a high hockey IQ. He has a great brain for it. Now, did the rest of his game need to round out? For sure it did, and it has. But if you can find a player that has one trait that's extremely high or one thing he's very, very good at late in the draft, and hopefully you can round out the rest of his game and they become players in our league.
Is this may seem like a strange question, but because of the potential returning of 21 members of the team have the opportunity to return, is this draft as important as it was last year?
I think, yeah, very, very much so, because we don't want to be a team that's great for a year and then go back down to the bottom again. You know, we think this draft, there might not be guys that step out of this draft and make the impact next year that, you know, Misa and Parekh did right away. But if you want the second wave, the echo effect, we call it, of being a championship caliber team and keeping the ball rolling here, this year's draft is going to be the guys that are go-to guys 2 and 3 years from now. So for sure, there might be players coming out of this draft that maybe don't make our team next year, but take a year of development in junior B or major mid or what have you, and they come in the year after, and then they're impact players.
All right. Hang on. We're talking to Dave Drinkle, general manager of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. The team plays tonight. It's game 4 of round 2 against the Sarnia Sting, and tickets are available. We would love to see those stands full because the team feeds off of crowd reaction. For ticket information, call 989-497-7747 or stop in here to the Spirit office at 6321 State Street and pick up your tickets today. Go online to SaginawSpirit.com. We'd love to see you in the crowd. And if you want to show your support with some great swag, they've got lots of great swag here in the store, from hoodies and T-shirts, polo shirts, you name it, you'll find it here at the Saginaw Spirit store. Again, 6321 State Street in Saginaw. We'll take a break. Be back with more with Dave Drinkle.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, Or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
And it's time to play WSGW's Baseball Bucks. Your opportunity to win $1,000 cash, presented by Westside Decorating Center in Saginaw. We will give you a baseball word. Go to WSGW.com and enter that word. And the word this hour is Arizona, as in the Arizona Diamondbacks. ARIZONA, Arizona. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. You must be 18 or older to enter. And complete rules are found at WSGW.com. WSGW's Baseball Bucks, presented by Westside Decorating Center.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There were more people filing for unemployment benefits for the first time last week. New claims rose 5,000 to 245,000. The number of people signing up for unemployment continues to remain low by historic standards. The number of weekly claims was running around 200,000 at the start of the year and has gradually moved higher. Another reading on business activity from the Philadelphia Reserve dropped in the recent quarter as it cut prices for its electric vehicles, and CEO Elon Musk stands by the cut, saying it's a good time to increase Tesla's leads. KeyCorp, a major regional bank, reported disappointing earnings and a drop in deposits. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosolda, invested in you.
Do bank closures, inflation rate hikes, and the roller coaster of the market frighten you as much as it does me? You need to call Oxford Gold. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver is a portfolio protection plan, and Oxford Gold has made it as easy as 1, 2, 3. One app, one call, and you pick the precious metals. That's it. You now own real precious metals. Call Oxford Gold today and learn more about the 1, 2, 3 protection plan at 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
This is Dan Streeter, CEO of Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. With Easter behind us, you might think there's nothing much to celebrate right now, but at Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan, we keep the hope of Easter alive all year round. A hot meal served with kindness and respect is often the first step to a new life. When you support Rescue Ministries, you help provide life-changing services to neighbors experiencing hunger and homelessness. Please go to r3monline.org to make a gift today. Remember, there's no place like home unless you don't have one.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. Our magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9. right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and we both sit here, Dave Drinkle and I, and bow to the god of hockey who just walked in here, the president and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit, Craig Goslin. Do this. Good morning, Mr. Goslin. Good to see you, and we'll chat with him later on. With me right now, Dave Drinkle, the general manager of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club, and Dave. In terms of trades during the year, during the trading period, how important are all these picks that you put into the bank?
Extremely important. I think when you looked at our draft grid and the way our league works, a lot of our trade capital is draft picks, right? The teams that have a lot of them, like Ottawa or Sarnia or whoever, they traded a bunch of their picks to get some players that come in to help their playoff push and their run. And we didn't have a lot of that in our cupboard from the previous run we had a few years ago. So they're extremely important. I know it's tough to do. It's tough to move players out for picks, but those picks are going to be very valuable come summertime and next year.
So you have a bank of picks, all right? And do you trade picks for picks, or do you trade picks for players?
This time of year, well, yeah, essentially this time of year, if you have too many draft picks, like I made a trade the other day where we had too many picks this year. We had a first, we had 2 seconds, we have an early third. There's not going to be ice time for all these young players coming in at the same time. So for me, I moved a pick back to get future picks to allow us the flexibility this summer to potentially use those picks to add another player, whether it be a 19-year-old or somebody that fits our window of the Memorial Cup roster. If I would have just kept that pick, then you have, 4 players essentially in the top, 45 picks in the draft. And where's that ice time going to go? Are they going to be on the team next year? They're going to want to be on the team next year, being second-round picks. There might not be room with the roster we're going to have. So it kind of alleviates a little bit and allows you flexibility to use those picks to get players.
How has the image of Saginaw as an ice town changed in the league? When you talk to prospects, what's their reaction to coming to Saginaw now?
They'd be thrilled to come to Saginaw. That's the way it's gotten to the point, and I'm very proud of that. And then the city deserves that, to be honest. I think it's a hidden gem in the OHL. I say that all the time. Any people that the thing I had a Zoom interview last night, and I talked to a family, and I said the thing with players in Ontario is that growing up, they've had minor hockey tournaments in Kitchener and Barrie and Kingston, so they know these towns. They're familiar with them. Nobody's had a minor hockey tournament in Saginaw as an Ontario players. They just don't. They don't know what they don't know. But when they get here, they see it, you explain it to them, their agents tell them what a great place it is to live and play and develop and have a chance to reach your goal, and what the ownership provides our players. It's become a destination in our league, and in my opinion, an elite franchise in the CHL. And I think that's one of the reasons we got rewarded with the Memorial Cup. I think everybody realized what great of a place it is to play and live in junior hockey, and what great ownership we have and the investment we put in these players.
When you pick a player, there's no guarantees, are there?
No, that he'll turn out, you mean?
Either turn up or turn out.
Well, there's no guarantees they'll want to come here, because there's a lot of different avenues for young hockey players. You try to do your homework. We know the risk going in. We know a lot of players. We know which ones are thinking about maybe going to college instead of our league. A lot of that's with American players because they've grown up with the college in their backyard, and that's what they want to do is go the NCAA route. But you try to take calculated guesses in the draft where you can get a player. You try to recruit them. It doesn't always work. We've hit some where they've come here and they've been stars for us, and we've had some where we've tried and it didn't work out. But if you're not going to you can't hit a home run without swinging for the fences, and that's kind of our philosophy. And we're going to take the best players and get them here in Saginaw and show them what a great place this is.
And for these players that play in the Ontario Hockey League, if they don't end up with a professional career and they want to play college hockey, has to be in Canada.
Has to be CIS, yeah. So every year that they play in the OHL, we pay for a year of their post-secondary school education. So when they're done in the OHL, they'll go play in a very good CIS schools in throughout Canada, and then hopefully get a pro career to that.
And we should explain to everyone the reason they do that is because in the United States, the NCAA looks at them as professionals, and once they play in the Ontario Hockey League, they can no longer play in the NCAA.
Exactly. They can go to school in the NCAA.
They can go to school, can't play,
Yeah.
And that's a shame. I hope someday the NCAA rethinks that, but I'm not I hope it happens, but I'm not hopeful that it will happen.
Yeah, for sure.
It's one of those things that isn't going to change in the future, I don't think. So let's talk about today's team and this year in particular. It's been an interesting year, and I think they've purported themselves fairly well given their age.
Absolutely. I think it's been a year full of highs and lows. You know, we had a 9-game winning streak in November, which was unbelievable. We almost broke the record, our team record of 10, but we lost in overtime in the Sioux. And then the trade deadline comes and you make difficult decisions, and we go on a bit of a losing streak until our players realize that, you know, we can still compete with the best teams in the league. And we did that down the stretch, and we ended up with a home ice spot. I think we knew how good our team was. If you look back at interviews Laz did, you know, with the league at the start of the year, you know, they always do like a preview of the team. And he said, I don't think people realize how good some of our players are, and we're going to show them. And we did. You know, home ice, top 4 in the West. And a lot of the quote unquote experts at the start of the year predicted us to finish 10th in the West and miss the playoffs. So we're very happy where we are. Do we want to keep winning, keep pushing? Absolutely. But we set ourselves up real well for the current, the future, and now, you know, the end goal, hosting the Memorial Cup next year is unbelievable for the franchise.
Laz told me early in the season that winning at a 60% clip would keep them in the playoffs and in a top 4 position. And that's turned out to be pretty prophetic, hasn't it? It's exactly what happened just about.
Yeah, it's interesting. We in the dressing room, we break our games down to 5-game segments, and we give our players goals that, so every 5 games would equate to 10 points, right, in the standings. So you look at big picture and you say you want to play 600 hockey. Well, that's tough to do throughout the year. But if you break it down to 5-game segments, guys, if you win 3 out of our 5 games, there's 60%. So it kind of like gives them small goals to attain a big achievement. And, you know, we reward them with, hey, if we get 6 out of 10 points, you get a day off, or we'll send them to a movie night or bowling, and little kind of rewards along the way, and a little carrot for the guys, and they love it. And it breaks down their games, and they realize playing 600 hockey is hard, but if you break it down, it's a little bit easier when you look at 3 out of every 5 instead of looking big picture on everything.
The other thing to remember, it seems to me, not only are these good hockey players and professional in every way in terms of their ethics and all of that, but they're still kids.
They're kids. If you look at them on the ice and they have this equipment on, they're big and they look like warriors and men, and then you come and see them off the ice, they're young men. They are kids, 16 to 20 years old. Obviously, there's a big difference in an age gap from a 16-year-old to a 20-year-old, and they're just young men that are still maturing in their body, maturing at school. They're in grade 11, a lot of them, you know, and you kind of forget that. Yep. And you put expectations on them. They have pressure from families and agents, and NHL teams are coming and interviewing them, but they have an English paper due the next day or exams. There's a lot on their plate. And for me, you know, you get good people in here that are good time managers, and you know, they really represent the organization well.
What does it mean to have that leadership in the dressing room, the Mitchell Smiths of the world?
Yeah, it means a lot. You know, Mitchell, Tristan Lennox, the guys that have been here, Dean Locus has been here for a few years now, Mancini, these guys that have been through it, that were those young guys running around the room when they were 16 and 17 years old, and the older guys were driving the older guys nuts around the room, these young kids, but now they're the older guys, and they're always talking about their time. And it's just like the rite of passage in our league. You pass down your wisdom, what you've learned. They always say how quick it flies by, that the time in the OHL, they think when they're 16, 17, they're going to be here forever. And then now they're looking at it as overagers and their careers are coming to an end. So it's always sad to see, but it always means so much to see what the wisdom they pass down. And if you talk to Mitchell, I'm sure he'll talk about what Damian Drew passed down to him. You talk to Damian, it'll be what Keaton Middleton passed down to him, and so forth, so forth.
All right, we are talking to Dave Drinkle, General Manager of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. We're going to take a break, and we will be back with more as we broadcast from the Saginaw Spirit offices at 6321 State Street, where you can pick up tickets for tonight's game. We'll have more on that in just a little bit. Let me talk to you about my friends at McDonald Ford in Freeland. I've known the McDonald family probably better than 40 years. And right from Tom McDonald Sr., the late Tom McDonald Sr., to his son, Tom McDonald Jr., and his son, Tommy III. And the two of them have McDonald Ford in Freeland. Now, they're a Ford dealer, but they also have many other products. You'll find Chevys and Cadillacs and Jeeps and Lincolns in their pre-owned lot. There was a Dodge Durango SRT on the lot, a 2020. Beautiful vehicle and lots of power. All of them have been through McDonald Ford's extensive 100-point inspection, and that lets you drive away with confidence. But if you have a problem, there is a big service department behind them that can handle everything from small repairs to major repairs. Their Drive Collision Center can handle body work. Quick Lane Center can handle your oil changes and the like. McDonald Ford, stop and become part of their family. They're at 6790 Midland Road in Freeland. McDonald Ford, there to serve your automotive needs. And we will be back with Dave Drinkle after these notes.
We now call to order the meeting of extraordinary heroes. Thunderfoot, here. Mega Maiden.
Let's go.
Wheat Farmer.
Yeah. What am I doing here?
You defeated Evil Dawn and saved your crop quality.
Well, yeah. I used Sphere X fungicide on my wheat and barley.
Keep your secrets, man.
No secret, just best-in-class Dawn reduction.
So modest. A mighty hero indeed.
Be a hero with Sphere X fungicide from BASF.
Always read and follow label directions.
Don't just like to lawn, love to lawn with the Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series. Head to Wolfhouse Ace Hardware, your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer today, and see how the fastest growing lawn tractor is setting the standard for performance and comfort. Cub Cadet is delivering more strength, more versatility, and more durability in one lineup that now features bold new redesigns of the fully electric XT1 and the dealer exclusive XT2. The XT Enduro Series also offers extra tough fabricated and stamped decks, breakthrough cutting and bagging performance, incredibly responsive handling, and an ergonomically designed operator station with an adjustable seat for incredible comfort, all backed by strong warranties and the genuine parts, accessories, and trained service technicians only Wolfiles can provide. For expert advice, superior service, and exceptional offers, visit Wolfiles Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw, where customer service still exists.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person
I'd rather
counts.
not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
On itemized deductions. Hey, can someone help with these 1099s?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Scott Trout, attorney and CEO of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. We help men deal with the life changes triggered by divorce, such as child custody and property division, among many others. But life changes also occur after divorce. These changes can make parts of your existing court order irrelevant. If you feel a modification to your court orders might be necessary, talk to us at Cordell & Cordell. We're a partner men can count on.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need. Indoor, outdoor, repair, or redesign. And we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the mitten.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
From the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, coming from the Saginaw Spirit offices at 6321 State Street. And we are talking to General Manager Dave Drinkle, General Manager of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. Just in terms of hierarchy, maybe people don't understand because we were kidding before when Craig walked in. He's the president and managing partner of the club, and you're the general manager of the club. And what's the differentiation? What does the general manager do as opposed to someone like Craig, who's the managing partner.
Yeah, I'd be in charge of all the hockey operations side of things, the hockey side, the staff, putting the team together, the draft, and Craig obviously I work tight with, but the business side and the president of the organization.
All right. I want to talk about somebody else. He's not here to defend himself right now. But Chris Lazary was honored. He should have been first, but at least he tied for second as coach of the year. Talk about Chris and his responsibilities and how well he does it.
Yeah, he's got a huge responsibility. First of all, yeah, he should have been first. I think the job he did this year was phenomenal. Obviously, you're not going to take anything away from Ottawa's head coach, Dave Cameron. They didn't lose much this year, and he's done a heck of a job. But what Chris did with our roster, with our youth, with me trading away Minchikov, that's tough. And a lot of coaches, he got the guys back on board and kept home ice and got us into the playoffs and through the first round. And I'm proud of him and what he's done, and I'm glad that he got recognized, as runner-up of Coach of the Year. And you can argue, like I said, that he should have won it, but that's a biased approach. But his responsibility he has 24 teenagers he's got to look in the eye every day. It's not just hockey-related stuff. There's a lot of things that maybe people don't understand that get thrown on his plate because he does have a tight relationship, and that's one strength. One of his many strengths, but one of his major ones, he creates great relationships with our players, and they can come to him with anything. So I think a lot of people don't realize what goes on behind closed doors, the conversations he has to have with players every day, mental health issues at home, girlfriend problems, ice time issues, different special teams, fitting in the lineup. There's a lot on his plate and a lot of responsibility, but he's so organized. He's so dedicated. He works very, very hard, extremely hard. He's at the rink so early every day. We're lucky to have him, and he's done a heck of a job here in his time as head coach, and I believe he's the best coach in the CHL.
And he spends a lot of time looking at film, doesn't he?
Oh man, it's unbelievable. He watches so much video, so much NHL, our games. He is the most prepared player or coach for our players that you can ever have, and the amount of clips he has, and he files thousands and thousands of clips throughout the summer, even to help build up a 20 clip tech pack for next year on different entries. And the way he breaks down the game, and he watches so much NHL hockey to get different trends of the way games are going and how goals are scored. And you could go on, and it's pretty amazing what he does. And I think you only see the surface of him coaching the game. That's like the final product. That's like the fun part of all the work he does behind the scenes that nobody would really realize.
He came in and his philosophy changed the way we played. We used to be a dump and run, dump and chase type club. And he is big into puck control and carrying it across the blue line and passing. But I noticed in the playoffs, we had to change a little bit. You have to adapt, don't you?
There's a little bit of a hybrid. Dumping the puck in, that's old school hockey. Like that way of the game is gone. The game is a skilled possession, offensive type of game nowadays. If you watch the NHL, the best teams play that way: Colorado, Tampa, Toronto. And maybe people can argue Toronto's not one of the best teams, but they are. But yeah,
well, folks, Dave is from that area. He can say that.
It's actually Chris's favorite team too. But no, it's a fun game to play. We're big believers in, if you have the puck, why are you giving the puck back to them and then trying to work to get it back in the ocean? Like, yeah, there is time you have to dump pucks in. There is a time where you have to chip to possession, we call it. But in the playoffs, you have to adjust to the team you're playing. If Sarnia is a team that scores a lot off the rush and off the attacks, we got to try to neutralize that so they're not coming at us with speed. So we do have to clog up the neutral zone a little bit. Flint was more, they want to hit Lombardi on entry. So you got to think of ways to try to neutralize Lombardi, which is tough to do. And he broke out a little bit, but I thought our guys did do a fairly good job for a while neutralizing him. So that's, again, a great job from Chris as the head coach, identifying what needs to be done. And really, we haven't given Sarnia much in this round. I know we're down 3-0, but they haven't been this dynamic offensive force that they have been throughout the year. And the second half of the year after they loaded at the deadline, and we've done a good job of it. But we still play our game when we're in the offensive end. We still create a lot of chaos and a lot of offensive generating plays. And we tie analytics to this. We do a lot of video work, and it's kind of a hybrid in the playoffs of how we want to play.
I go back round one for a minute in Flint, because I noticed one thing about Flint, and in the beginning, I thought, well, it was just clever of that player, but they all did it, so it had to be a method. When they had the puck, defending the puck, and they wanted to get it out of the zone, it went up in the air over the Ds, and then they'd race for it. Almost every one of their shots out of the zone went up and over. And it had to be a method.
Well, that's a credit to the way we were playing in our forecheck and the pressure we put on their D. We were relentless on their D. We were big on if we work their D, they're going to turn pucks over and we're going to create, more offensive plays in the offensive end. And their only resort was flip it out. That's all we could do. And then we come back in on the attack. So that was something that we put pressure on them and we forced them to play that way. And that's a credit to our guys.
Very good. Hang on, and we'll be back. We're talking to Dave Drinkle, one more segment with him, and we'll take a look at tonight's game and what could be ahead when we return here on WSGW.
Hi, I'm Jim Blau, owner of Mid-Michigan Canine Academy. As most of you know already, our Redemption Crew has the most effective dog training methods in Michigan, transforming hundreds of dogs and families' lives each year. But you may not know about our premier boarding, day camp, and grooming services. Aren't you tired of booking out for weeks to get your dog cleaned, clipped, and looking sharp? We're taking on new clients, have immediate availability even on Sundays. Book online at mid-michigancanineacademy.com. That's mid-michigancanineacademy.com.
At Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, an evening with James Taylor.
Oh, I've seen fire, I've seen rain.
Friday night, June 23rd, part of the Soaring Eagle Summer Outdoor Concert Series.
How sweet it is to be loved by.
Tickets start at $36, on sale now at the Soaring Eagle box office and etix.com.
Oh, Mexico, you got a friend.
James Taylor, Under the Stars, June 23rd at Soaring Eagle Casino.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural. Made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Inflation is nothing more than legalized theft. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and to preserve your wealth, I highly recommend keeping physical gold in your retirement account. To learn more, text the word safeguard to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold, which is the only gold IRA company I trust. So text Safeguard to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you can start speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español. Gracias, Babbel. Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Has this ever happened to you? Your significant other says, we've got to redo the kitchen, and you break out into a cold sweat?
Well, don't worry. It's a common condition, something we call needless remodeling anxiety. And we've got the cure. Heck, we are the cure. Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti. Whether you do it yourself or direct it yourself, we can help you keep your project on track and on budget.
So join us this weekend for the Money Pit Home Improvement Radio Show.
The Money Pit, Saturday mornings at 9 on WSGW.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show, broadcasting from the Saginaw Spirit offices at 6321 State Street. Big game tonight, game 4 of round 2. The Spirit find themselves down 3-0, but they are not out of it. With us is the general manager of the Saginaw Spirit, Dave Brinkle. So what do we look for in tonight's game, Dave? What do you want to see happen? Other than win, obviously.
Yeah, just to make sure guys play like they have been. I think these like we've talked about today, the series could be totally different. I know we're down 3-0, but these games could have won either way. And I'd like to get one early. I think 9 out of the 10 playoff games this year we've played, we've gotten behind, and we hit 2 posts early the other night. It could have been a 2-0 game for us early on and before they scored, but just come out and compete and get off to a good start, and we'll take it from there.
When you look at this team coming back, what do you see next year? What's that team going to be like?
I think we have a chance. Well, obviously, hosting the Memorial Cup, we will have to add to this group, but the core that we have coming back is a core that's been through it. Getting the experience in the playoffs has been huge. The round with Flint kind of had everything we wanted. Game 7s, overtimes, lead changes, blown leads, coming back late. They got like a whole year worth of playoffs in one round, with the crowd being electric and the rivalry. So the experience, but next year's team, we have elite players, elite talent, guys who know our system, guys who have been through the league now, know what road trips are like, what to expect, pressure. So yeah, we have a great group of young men that are going to be ready to compete for the championship next year.
And folks also have to realize it's more than just the players, because obviously it's coaches, and we are down 1 right now. So that's on your list of things to do too, isn't it?
For sure. Yeah. Once the year gets ended, Chris and I will sit down and talk, and we'll go from there.
Typically behind the bench, though, there's usually 3 coaches?
Yeah, it depends. Some teams have 3, some teams have 2. Depends on what the head coach wants to do. That sometimes teams have eyes in the sky. There is no real set way about it. Just kind of whatever they're comfortable with and whatever the organization values.
There's going to be a lot of changes, positive changes in the Dow itself, in the facility. And the visiting teams are going to find themselves in a much nicer situation than they are now. Has that changed their attitude at all?
I don't know if it changed their attitude. Speaking from a team, when I used my other job, when I worked for Barrie, and I'd come in, and the visitors' change room here is what it is. But now the visitors come in, they're going to have a nice newer room, and it's going to be high-end OHL room. I think it's going to go a long way, and especially even, guys wanting to waive their no trade to come here. Maybe they don't know about Saginaw. Their perception might be a bit of a quote unquote grungier change room, right, that they're in now, but next year it's going to be all first class. And it's going to be great for the lasting effect after the Memorial Cup, just with the money they put in our facility and the things that we're going to have.
What is the out of curiosity? Because the Spirit obviously have a beautiful locker room, sort of loosely, at least based on the Red Wings to some degree. What does that mean for their psyche and their ability to learn?
I think it's great. It gives them a spot to come. They all hang out together because we do have a huge lounge, the kitchen area. The theater room gets used every day, multiple times a day, from Chris and the staff, for video, for meetings. It eliminates all of excuses. A lot of NHL guys come into a room that are former players, and they'll say, this is nicer than most American League rooms. These guys, have it really good here, and our guys know that, and they respect that. And I think the dressing room itself has a wow factor when you want to try to recruit a player to come play here. They walk into that dressing room now and they realize that our ownership is really giving them everything they need to be a pro, and ultimately they want to come here and help reach their goal.
With guys like Misa and Parek on the team and others, have we seen an increase in scouting in this area?
I think we're always heavily scouted. I think, Misa's draft's not for a few years now. Zane's is next year, but, you talk about guys that are Joey Willis and McNamara's and, Mangoni's ranked, Andrew Oak. Like, we always have a lot of scouts, and a lot of scouts do love our media room. That gets talked about a lot too.
We know that.
And that's kudos to Craig and his staff for that investment in our ownership. But no, we're a fun, exciting team. We have had a lot of guys drafted recently from our organization. A lot of guys sign pro contracts. So I think it has raised it a little bit, but we've always been a team that scouts want to come out and watch.
And of course, let's give some kudos to the staff that rarely gets any. The equipment manager, the strength and conditioning coach, and folks like that.
Yeah, for sure. Andrew Plate, our athletic therapist, is in there, works so hard throughout the year, days off. He's coming in, giving treatment to players. Like everybody deserves a day off, but he's always putting in a group chat. I'll be in the rink for these 2-hour window tomorrow on his day off to do treatment for players, just putting the team first. Unbelievable guy. And Adam Wozniak, our equipment manager, is here for his second year, works extremely hard, sleeps in the rink a lot of nights, puts a mattress in his office floor because he's got to be here. And what people don't understand, these equipment managers have to let other teams in when they come here on the road, and they might not get here till 2:30 in the morning. So he's got to be here, open the rink, let them in, do their laundry for them. He's staying at the rink all this time. So they put in so many hours, and they're great people. Our staff down at the rink, we treat like a family. We all get along really well. We have a lot of fun together, and everybody does their job to their best of their abilities, and they do a heck of a job for us. And then you talk about our goalie coach, Rick Ice, drives up every day, works with their goalies on the ice, does their video at games on the road and at home. Austin Sadler, our strength coach, comes in every day. He's working the guys out after practice, working our healthy scratches out, and they're both involved in our drafts. Austin's coming into the meetings today. He's got a bunch of different analytics broken down from the combine on the weekend. Rick Ice is interviewing goalies. So it's all hands on deck, and I couldn't do my job without these guys, and then my scouts and Brian Prout, and I can go on and on about our staff. We got good people here.
And the first payoff is tomorrow night.
Yeah, the first 3 rounds of the draft are tomorrow night. We did our last Zoom interview last night at 8:30. So after I'm done on the show here with you, I'm going to go down and we're going to do our meetings, go to our game tonight, finish our meetings again tomorrow, and narrow our list down, and then add some really good players to this organization.
Well, Dave, first of all, good luck tonight. We hope the team shines, and we thank you for your hard work, and thank you for willingness to sit down and chat about it from time to time.
No, I appreciate it anytime. It's always great talking Spirit hockey.
All right. Dave Drinkle, General Manager of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. We will take a break, come back, and remind you about tickets tonight on WSGW.
Unlock your best lawn yet with innovative zero-turn mowers, lawn tractors, walk-behind mowers, and more at Wolfiles Ace Hardware, your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer. Like the Cub Cadet Ultima Series, zero-turn mowers that are engineered to give you the ultimate all-around mowing experience by delivering next-level comfort and premium cut quality, as well as superior speed and control. And only Wolfiles, your local dealer, can offer this level of strength and back it up with genuine parts, accessories, and trained service technicians to keep your equipment running strong. From barbecues to backyard batting practice, you'll love to lawn for years to come with the Cub Cadet residential mowers. For expert advice, superior service, and exceptional offers, visit Wolfiles Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw, where customer service still exists. Open 7 days.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
Deflected, very up.
Spirit fans, it's a win or go home scenario. This is Dylan Clark, radio voice of your Saginaw Spirit. The Spirit are fighting for their playoff lives against the Sarnia Sting, and they need your help. Game 4 is this Thursday, 7:05 at the Dow Event Center. Don't wait. Get your tickets while they're still available and help the Spirit continue the fight. Go to SaginawSpirit.com and get your tickets to Game 4 now.
That's right. The game is tonight. We are broadcasting from the Saginaw Spirit offices at 6321 State Street on this day where, as Dylan said, the Spirit are fighting for their life. Game 4 of this round, and they are down 3-0, so they have to win to survive. And having a big crowd at the Dow helps them. It's like having a sixth man on ice. Love to see you at the Dow tonight. There are plenty of tickets available. You need to stop in here at the office, 6321 State Street. You can call 989-497-7747. Or go online to SaginawSpirit.com. Coming up, we have news from CBS, the National International Report, the local report, Michael Bishop. We will be back with more.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Mixed results for a historic space launch from the southern tip of Texas. SpaceX giant new rocket blasted off on its first test flight about half an hour ago, but blew apart minutes later.
Starship just experienced what we call a rapid unscheduled disassembly or a run during ascent. But now this was a development test. This is the first test flight of Starship.
The biggest, most powerful rocket ever built was unmanned, and SpaceX had said it might take several tries before Starship succeeds at a test flight. The goal is to send people and cargo to the moon and eventually to Mars. Gun violence has touched the lives of a family in the South.
Police in Gaston County, North Carolina, are looking for a man who allegedly shot and wounded his neighbors, a 6-year-old girl and her parents, after their basketball rolled into his yard.
I think the bullet came back and it hit me, and the bullet was in my cheek.
District Attorney Travis Page.
We'll be damn sure to be loud and clear when this case comes to court. And the people of Gaston County will see and hear our commitment to that prosecution.
Police are searching for a 24-year-old man in connection with the shooting. Jim Crisilla, CBS News, Greensboro, North Carolina.
2 people were killed when twin tornadoes tore through central Oklahoma. Addie is a student at Oklahoma Baptist University in Shawnee.
There's just trees uprooted, glasses shattered everywhere. There's a building that has part of it has a glass roof, and that's shattered.
The National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center says another round of strong storms could tear through the region tonight. A new UNICEF report finds a lot of parents around the world stopped getting their kids vaccinated against childhood diseases like measles and polio over the past few years. The BBC's Imogene Folks.
Maybe most insidious of all, we have linked to the pandemic a whole doubt that vaccines may in some way not be safe.
This is April 20th, the day pot smokers and eaters celebrate their favorite weed. A new CBS YouGov poll finds Americans are becoming more accepting of people who use marijuana openly. 53% tell us they find it socially acceptable. 47% still do not. That is a shift from 2 years ago when it was an even split. And for Mickey D fans with a case of the munchies,
starting a week from today, Big Mac sauce will be available in little sauce cups, just like the barbecue or honey mustard or sweet and sour. That means you can dip any sandwich, fries, hash browns directly into a vat of the mayonnaise-y, ketchup-y, relishy combo.
Stacey Lynn, this is CBS News.
Streamline how you hire with Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
When I grow up, I want to be a race car driver.
My mom said I could be an astronaut.
Someday, I'm going to be turned into sugar and made into the world's stickiest, sweetest lollipop ever.
Probosol fungicide from BASF helps every sugar beet live up to its fullest potential. Advanced disease control means you get enhanced Cercospora leaf spot protection and more recoverable sucrose. Help your sugar beets achieve their dreams and maximize your yield potential with Probosol fungicide. Always read and follow label directions.
Spirit fans, it's a win or go home scenario. This is Dylan Clark, radio voice of your Saginaw Spirit. The Spirit are fighting for their playoff lives against the Sarnia Sting, and they need your help. Game 4 is this Thursday, 7:05 at the Dow Event Center. Don't wait. Get your tickets while they're still available and help the Spirit continue the fight. Go to SaginawSpirit.com and get your tickets to Game 4 now.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right, but right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 44 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Perchuk. A Flint man is looking at life in prison after pleading no contest to nearly 200 charges related to the sexual assault of several women. 65-year-old Gilbert Conway is accused of raping up to 15 women between 2008 and 2018, though police and prosecutors say his victims could number in the hundreds. Conway was arrested in 2018 following a criminal investigation. He's charged with 187 counts, most of those first-degree criminal sexual conduct, but also include kidnapping, extortion, assault with a dangerous weapon, and torture. During the investigation, police found hundreds of videos in his home, which they say contain evidence of his crimes. Conway's sentencing date is June 12th. The Saginaw County Board of Commissioners greenlit $8.6 million worth of improvements to the Dow Event Center during Tuesday night's board commission meeting. In preparation for next year's Memorial Cup hockey tournament, the venue will undergo a series of changes, including the addition of a team locker room, 4 more VIP suites, and renovations to the media suite, representing an investment of $3 million. Other improvements in the project, like the replacement of the Dow's Wendler Arena ceiling, equipment updates, and elevators to the arena's suites would have been considered regardless of the Memorial Cup and account for the remaining funds. The price tag is an increase from an earlier estimate of $5.5 million, and officials say the difference will be taken away from the county's delinquent tax fund until the county finds corporate sponsors and state funding. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Don't just like to lawn, love to lawn with the Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series. Head to Wolfhouse Ace Hardware, your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer today, and see how the fastest growing lawn tractor is setting the standard for performance and comfort. Cub Cadet is delivering more strength, more versatility, and more durability in one lineup that now features bold new redesigns of the fully electric XT1 and the dealer exclusive XT2. The XT Enduro Series also offers extra tough fabricated and stamped decks, breakthrough cutting and bagging performance, incredibly responsive handling, and an ergonomically designed operator station with an adjustable seat for incredible comfort, all backed by strong warranties and the genuine parts, accessories, and trained service technicians only Wolfiles can provide. For expert advice, superior service, and exceptional offers, visit Wolfiles Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw, where customer service still exists.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Health officials have linked fentanyl-laced cocaine to the deadly overdose surge in Kalamazoo County between April 12th and the 13th. A total of 18 cases were identified, including 10 hospitalizations and 7 deaths. Kalamazoo County Medical Director Dr. William Nettleton says the severe cluster of drug overdoses was likely due to an unintentional exposure to fentanyl in individuals whose intended drug was cocaine. He says even with prior history of drug use, a person could react differently every time, especially if multiple stimulants like methamphetamine and cocaine and depressants like opioids and alcohol are mixed together, or if a person does not know about the presence of other drugs. A law from 1931, which makes it a crime for unmarried couples to live together, has been repealed by the state Senate. The legislation passed yesterday by a 29-9 vote, with 9 Republicans voting against repealing the law. Democrat Stephanie Chang of Detroit introduced the bill.
This law will help some individuals in our state by reducing their taxpayer burden. It'll place unmarried Michigan taxpayers on equal footing with taxpayers in almost every other state. And again, as mentioned, it will bring us to our current century and really just update our laws.
The bill now goes on to the House. If passed there, it will go to Governor Gretchen Whitmer for her signature. Eastern Michigan University will break ground this afternoon on a $7.5 million art building. The Wingate Arts Complex will be 24,000 square feet when completed, providing a new home for students studying sculpture, ceramics, furniture design, digital fabrication, 3D design, and metalsmithing. The programs are currently spread across campus in different buildings. The university says the facility will provide a collaborative, creative environment for art making. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010, and now here's WNEM's first alert meteorologist, Matthew Mondro.
For Thursday, we'll see more scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, more activity during the afternoon. Temperatures highly variable for today. So Flint, you'll easily reach the 70s while you stay in the 50s if you're farther up north today. Our southeast wind will start to gust up towards 25 miles per hour. For tonight, a low of 47 degrees, just isolated rain showers and a few thunderstorms. Wind gusts still staying around 25 miles per hour, that wind becoming southwesterly. Then on Friday, a high of 60. We'll have AM rain showers, and that will start to leave the thumb during the early afternoon. Wind slowing back down to 5 to 10 miles per hour. By Saturday, just a few scattered rain showers, a few snowflakes possible, and a high of 52. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
It's 45 at WSGW.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Indeed, Westside Decorating Center, right down the road from us in Glade, 79 State. Newly expanded showroom, simply because the Saginaw Spirit moved to where we are today, 6321 State. And the good folks at Westside Decorating acquired that space and have expanded into it. But as I said, we are broadcasting from the Saginaw Spirit offices, 6321 State Street, on a day that the Saginaw Spirit, as you heard Dylan say in a commercial earlier, fighting for their playoff lives. They're down 3-0 against Sarnia. Tonight, game 4. We want to see a crowd there, and tickets are available by calling the Spirit office or coming into the Spirit office or going to SaginawSpirit.com. And with us to talk more about that and also the future is the president and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. And we welcome back to the microphone, Craig Goslin.
Good morning, Art.
You excited for tonight?
It is, you know what, the playoff hockey is, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. And we could be up 3-0 in this series, Art. And the team has played really well. Each game has been highly contested. And, there's been their age, certainly their veteran presence, for lack of a better term, certainly has shown through at the critical times of the games. And tonight we're hoping to take that switch. We just win one game, take them one at a time. And the Guelph Storm, by the way, in the last series, we're in the conference semifinals right now. And the Guelph Storm was down 3-0, and they took it back to 3-2 and actually had a lead in game 6. So Sarnia has never been out of the conference semifinals in the history of their franchise.
I'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah, no, and it's 30. I think it's 34 years they've been a franchise. Never have been out of the conference semifinal. So, there's maybe we've got something good happening here. So we'll start with one night at a time.
I want to talk about something I don't think we've ever talked about. Fans come to the game. They see the results of good coaching, of good draft selection. They see all those results.
Yeah.
They never see what happens behind the scenes.
That's very true.
And the business side of this organization is as important as the hockey operations side, because you can't have one without the other.
That's true.
Tell us about the business side of what it takes to run an OHL franchise.
Well,
all the people in this building.
We work together. We have a terrific relationship with both the business and hockey side. Kate Pankow is our vice president. She's in charge of all the sales and sponsorship. Lindsay McDougal is in charge of all the ticketing, and Dave Drinkle is our general manager in charge of the hockey. The relationship they've got together is terrific, and we do have a very functional front office. That's number one. That's important, and you see that in sports. You see that throughout sports where teams don't have a functional front office. And we've got that here. And the business operations of the hockey club is not just about ticketing and sponsorship. It's also about the community. It's about going into the community and working with, for example, the Shocks and Saves event. where we've raised $900,000 now for heart health awareness in our community. Placed 300 defibrillators, and there's been 13 lives saved through those defibrillators and the like. So I think they've trained tens of thousands of people on the proper techniques of CPR, that kind of stuff. Those are the things that the business operations focus in on. That stuff takes a lot of time, Art. You can't just say, okay, let's do a shocks and saves, and let's put something together where we can place 300 defibrillators. Okay, it takes a lot of people. It takes working with the Paul Street Foundation and MMR, the group Covenant Hospital. Everybody works together in unison. It takes a total team, and that's what's special about our community.
And you mentioned that word foundation because the Saginaw Spirit have a charitable foundation. Tell us about that and how that came about.
We do, and actually that was Dick Garber. We sat down, and when we started this franchise, we had a lot of people coming out and asking us for contributions, and Dick decided to let's start a foundation, and that foundation was seeded, and then from there on out, we never realized it ever turned into what it is, because the way it's funded is through the 50-50. That we do at the games, our jersey auctions and private contributions, and then of course through that foundation we give out a lot of tickets to charities and the like, and we also work with other charities to ensure that we help them to meet their goals, and that certainly it's been incredible each year. The foundation working with our partners together, and our partners will this year is going to be over $350,000 that the foundation gives back out to the community in our partnership. So it's a tremendous way to give back to our community, and that's really the Dick Garber way.
Yeah, and I know you've said it, and I've heard Dick say it too. He really looks at this as a community project.
What is a community project? Dick and I don't own the team; the community owns the team, and that's a fact. It's just the way it is. I mean, this is the community's team. You see it with just what the county commissioners just did with the Dow Event Center. It's a community. It's not them. It's not us. It's all of us together, and it's a we thing. And you look at the region. The regional support is unbelievable. I mean, over 30% of our sponsorship and ticket revenue comes from Midland County, 18% from Bay County. That's 48% of our revenue that comes out of counties not on our home county of Saginaw. And that was the goal. That was the vision when Dick bought this team and brought it here. He says, you know, we're gonna be able to work with the entire county. It's a great example to follow. I know the Loons are close to those numbers as well. I believe maybe not quite as strong in Saginaw County as what we are in Midland County, but I think they still have a good Saginaw County presence with their sponsorships for sure. And but they're the Loons and the Spirit, certainly we were hand in hand together, and we wish them the best luck as they start their season as well.
And I think the ownership is important, and I think we have the proof of the pudding in that, because after the Saginaw Gears finally left Saginaw, there were a number of alliterations of hockey clubs in and out of this town.
Yeah.
But until a Dick Garber came along and said, this is what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, they weren't successful.
No, it's true. I mean, we had to battle that the first 3 or 4 years here as an OHL team, as the previous hockey teams had left. One of them left in the middle of the night. They packed up everything in a semi, left in the middle of the night, left the season ticket holders. Yeah, they left the season ticket holders hanging and moved to Indiana, and we had to battle that. And certainly the credibility of Dick Garber and what he gives back to the community, and also the credibility of the league. The OHL is it's the best development league in the world in any sport, and I can say that with a very strong
no prejudice, folks. He's the chairman of the board, but that's all right.
It is the finest. The owners in this league, the league commissioner and the entire league office is focused on one major thing, and that's the development of our players as athletes and as student athletes, and that is the focus. And nobody does it better than our league. And the players leave here, they're either going to sign a pro contract or they're going to go to school. And we're going to pay for that education for them. It's the best of both worlds, and it's a phenomenal league.
And the other thing, which I think is also a mark of how Dick and you run the team, when these young men come to us, they also have to bring character.
Yep.
You're not just taking scruff and rough hockey players without character.
Well, when we hired Dave Drinkle, that's one of the reasons we hired Dave Drinkle. Okay, is it starts there. He runs our hockey operations. He's in charge of our hockey operations, and I think that's an important thing to follow. Dick and I are not. All right, that's not our. Dave Drinkle runs that area, and that's the functionality of a good setup in sports for sure, and in business. You know, you hire people that are really good at what they do. You have to hold them accountable. But let them make the decisions, and that's what happened. The draft is this weekend. It's 100% Dave Drinkle and his staff, all right? And that's the way. But yeah, no, and Dave will be bringing players in here His coaches are the same way. They have character and talent. If they don't have them both, they're not part of the Saginaw Spirit. He makes sure that happens. And there's times where there's highly talented kids that are on the list, and Dave will, he's already passed by them because of the fact that he's noticed he's found something within the character that don't belong in our room, and that's a huge part of what we are.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the Memorial Cup is coming to Saginaw next year. Maybe you don't know all the things that went into it. As a matter of fact, that chuckle from from Craig tells you he didn't know all the things that were going to go
That's
into it either.
100% true. That's 100% true.
We'll talk more about that when we return. We are here at the Saginaw Spirit office. Tonight's game 4 of the second round playoffs, the semifinals, against the Sarnia Sting. We're down 3-0, but not out. And we want a big crowd tonight to help cheer on the team. So give them a call at 989-747-497-7747. That's 497-7747. Or stop in the office here at 6321 State Street and pick up some tickets for tonight's game. You'll be glad you did. I promise you'll have a good time. We'll be back with more after these notes.
Brought to you by BetterHelp. To be honest, adulting is tough. When you're young, they teach you that every problem has a solution, but they didn't tell us what or how. But as I like to say, the what comes before the how. I know sometimes I need a little help and may not know what the next steps are in the process, and that's the how. Having someone in my corner helping me work through solutions is ideal, and sometimes looking outside of my friends and loved ones is helpful for me to see the bigger picture. And BetterHelp is there to do that. That's just life. We navigate to the best of our ability, doing what we can, but I know there's more to life than just that. And there is. Resources like BetterHelp are there to be with you as licensed therapists to help you work through things a bit. It's online, and you can even switch therapists free of charge if the vibe just isn't right. It's about you finding that inner peace or sorting through your busy life. It's about your growth. And that said, BetterHelp is there virtually anywhere you are, ready to take the next step in your mental health journey. Discover your potential with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/BaconBear today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/BaconBear.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened lower after another round of earnings and a sign the labor market is slowing, though at a gradual pace. The number of new claims for unemployment benefits rose by 5,000 last week to 245,000. Shares of 3 regional banks, KeyCorp, Comerica, and Zions Bancorp all declined. They reported a drop in deposits and weaker than expected quarterly results. Tesla is weighing on the NASDAQ. Its profit margin was weaker in the recent quarter as it cut prices to boost sales, and CEO Elon Musk is standing by the decision. Tesla shares are down 8%. American Express reported a weaker than expected quarter, though it is reporting strong spending for travel and entertainment, especially by millennial and Gen Z customers. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-353-5566. That's 800-353-5566. 800-353-5566.
Time to play WSGW's Baseball Bucks. Here is an opportunity for you to win $1,000 presented by Westside Decorating Center here in Saginaw. I'll give you a baseball word. You enter it at WSGW.com. The word this hour is playoffs. Every team wants to be in the playoffs. PLAYOFFS. An Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. WSGW's Baseball Bucks, presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
All right. We're back here on WSGW. I'm Mark Lewis, broadcasting from the Saginaw Spirit offices. And with me is the president and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. He is Greg Goslin, fondly referred to as Goose. Does that have something to do with your last name?
It does. So it's the old baby Goose, right? The Goslin.
Yeah. And tonight there are lots of tickets, and you have come up with a deal.
We have.
I knew you would.
Yeah, for the next hour, if you come into the Saginaw Spirit office, if you buy every 2 tickets you buy, we'll give you a Saginaw Spirit hat. So a great opportunity. So come on to the Spirit store, 6321 State Street. We want to pack the building tonight. I think we're around 3,600 right now, if I'm not mistaken. So we got 1,400 more tickets to sell. And we want to make that happen between now and 7:05 tonight when the puck drops.
Boy, you bet. All right. 6321 State Street is where we're located. Mention my name, get a hat. Buy a couple of tickets and get a hat. I think it's some nice hats, too.
There's
nice swag.
There is. Yeah, and the hat they're going to get is one of our group hats. I mean, it's very nice. And it's a blue hat with a big Spirit logo on it and beautiful. So,
all right. In a couple of minutes, Robert Bellman, who is the controller in Saginaw County, is going to be calling in. Just fair warning at the radio station. But let's look at the process of getting the Memorial Cup, because I know it was a lot more. Even you, as chairman of the board, and you've been through it before, you really had no idea what it was going to take, did you?
Well, I didn't realize it was going to be that much work. I thought it would be like putting together that we got the bid guidelines, and then when you start digging in the bid guidelines, and you see that each one of the sections,
there's 4 of them,
there's
right?
4 sections. There's the business operations. So you've got to have a clear tip-top business operations in place. The second one is the local atmosphere and special events, your community engagement. That's the second stage, and that has to be looked after. The next one is the event logistics, and that would be the arena. That would be our hotels. The players are going to be housed in Frankenmuth at the Bavarian Inn and the Zenders and the Marriott there in Frankenmuth and other places as well. And then, of course, the last part of that is going to be the hockey operations. So those are the 4 phases of the Memorial Cup. Each one had to have a specific, deep dive, for lack of a better term, of explanation as to where we're at competing against the other 3 teams that were bidding for this Memorial Cup. There was 3 iconic hockey communities bidding for this Memorial Cup besides us. There was Sault Ste. Marie, Niagara, and Kingston. All 3 of them have been at this for a long time and have done a great job with their franchises. And we had to shine, and we did. Our community came together and shined in all 4 of those areas.
And we actually had to, in some ways, we probably had to do a little more because it's never been in the United States in the eastern side of the country.
Yeah.
The only time it's ever been in the U.S. has been out west.
Yeah.
This is the first time that an Ontario League U.S. club gets to host a Canadian championship.
I would say that that's true, that we probably had to show a little bit more than the other groups. I think that Andy Rummel and the Convention Visitors Bureau staff, that they were instrumental in our bid. They've been through this before. It's not their first rodeo. They did the soccer tournament here. They've been involved with the Dow LPGA Tour event, and you and I both were working on those as well. And I can tell you that experience that they had helped us put our bid together. And Wendy and Tim there at the CVB, huge parts of putting this bid together.
This has become kind of a sports hub in a way, hasn't it?
It really has.
We've hockey, soccer, baseball, golf.
Yeah, our Convention Visitors Bureau has done a great job. Tim Shelton is the sports czar for the Convention Visitors Bureau, and that's his job. That's his daily job to attract top sporting events here. And when you see all the stuff that goes on at Hoyt Park as well, with all the Little League work, the softball games, all that stuff, people coming in from all parts of Michigan to Saginaw for sporting events. And we just scratch the surface and where we're going to go in the future.
And in fact, Hoyt Park is going to benefit from the Memorial Cup coming in.
They are. One of the legacy projects that we'd have two legacy projects. One is the Henry Marsh Bridge. Underneath the bridge, we're going to beautify that with Annie Rummel and her staff. And then we're also going to be working with Larry Brethauer and the Friends of Hoyt Park and Dick Garber and some of the things there, and help them to get the park even better than it is today.
All right, I want to take a break a little bit early, because when we come back, we're hoping to hear from Robert Bellman, and he is the county controller, about the county's efforts for the Memorial Cup. More ahead.
The Home Builders Association of Midland invites you to the Home and Outdoor Living Expo. Joint event sponsors Horizon Bank and Dow Credit Union, and support sponsor Rent Right. Saturday, April 29th, 9 till 6, and Sunday, April 30th, 11 till 4 at Dow Diamond in Midland. Visit indoor and outdoor exhibitors, concessions all weekend, and Family Fun Day sponsored by Lawrence Smith Windows and Doors on Sunday from noon till 3. Hourly giveaways and a chance to win a suite for $20 and a $500 food and drink voucher to a Loons baseball game.
It's a sting operation. Carry out the mission to nab some cash at Saginaw Eagles Landing. Every Friday in April, come out for hourly drawings from 5 to 10 p.m. for the chance to carry out your sting operation and grab as many envelopes as you can. Collect the prizes inside and win up to $250 cash. So seize the excitement of sting operation. Only at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit Saginaw-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
Looking for savings while filling up at the pump? Look no further than Fuel Rewards at one of our 26 local Forward Shell convenience stores. Get at least 5 cents off a gallon every time you fill up, and earn an additional 10, 20, and even 30 cents off a gallon with in-store purchases on your favorite snacks and drinks. 2 for $3 king-size Hershey bars available at the front counter. Visit FuelRewards.com to sign up and learn more. Fuel Rewards at your local Forward Shell convenience stores, a family-owned Michigan tradition since 1925.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-330-1991. That's 1-800-330-1991. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-330-1991. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, coming to you from the offices of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club, and the president and managing partner, Craig Goslin, sitting with me this morning. But there is another entity involved in all of this, and that, of course, is the Dow Event Center. And we are pleased this morning to welcome to the program, for the first time that I get to pick on him publicly now. He's the head honcho at the Dow. He is the manager of the Dow Event Center. And we say good morning to Steve St. John. Steve, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited about sharing all the positive energy happening here with the listeners.
Well, we're glad to have you in town, and Craig and I were just talking about the fact that you're a hockey guy, and you're really into ice, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I have a long history, 30 years in the business, several of those with the Carolina Hurricanes and the franchises that they own and manage facilities for. So hockey has always been a big part of my arena, sports and entertainment career. I studied the ice because it was our most important asset in coming into this business, and made it a personal interest of mine. So I would be well aware of what our conditions are and what was happening out there.
So let me ask, you come into a facility like the Dow. What were your first impressions?
Well, I've been in tune with the Dow Event Center since I was a young lad. I was born and raised in Flint, and I used to come up here to skate and to watch our Flint Generals play the Gears. So my history with the event, with the center, is long. But I was a co-worker and helped Matt Blasey, a past general manager, secure a position here through regional general manager Sandy Aaron, who I was a regional manager for, and we got Matt placed here out of the Hurricanes organization. So I've had a pulse on this building all my life, and this Dow Event Center has good bones. It is straight out, was a class facility whenever it was built, and it's still very sturdy and still a great asset to this county and to the community.
Well, it's about to undergo some significant changes. Give us an idea of what's ahead.
Well, I think the biggest impact that these dollars spent will have will not only be the Memorial Cup, it'll be the opportunities that we will experience in the future. It puts us into a whole different category of entertainment facility, where you can meet the requirements of bid packages that are very extensive. I think we've all found that out. And, we have folks like Craig that can get these bids pulled together, and the teams and the different people that need to be involved to land these truly historic events. I mean, this is a bucket list item that I don't think people quite yet appreciate what this means to the whole North American continent, away from just Saginaw.
It is a legacy, isn't it? I mean, they're going to do work for the Memorial Cup, but there is a legacy component that lasts a long time.
Absolutely. And, the types of events that we can look at doing now has expanded exponentially. I mean, we now become a classic experience where we can provide entertainment and at all levels, as well as a pleasant environment for the athlete. That's probably the biggest importance of this remodel is the athletes are now they're moving from the basement to the living room. It's just a complete. If anybody's been in these locker rooms and things and these ancillary rooms in this building, you'll understand.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, Steve. Steve manages the Dow and does an incredible job. Got a great experience at also not just at the game of hockey and ice, but also with bringing in major concerts and major events. One of the things we're going to do during the Memorial Cup is have a major concert at the Jolt Credit Union Event Park. I guess, Steve, tell us a little bit about ASM Global and what you guys bring to the table that maybe the general listener may not be aware of.
So the resources as a team member of ASM is the resources that we have access to. We can get an audience with every level of entertainment. And at the end of the day, it's all about business. Does it make dollars and cents? So, we use these assets and these relationships that we have developed over the years to get in contact with the level of entertainment that is out there, and we try to make the best fit, whether it's just different levels of what's your target market, what are we looking for. We can match that to an area, and some things work in some areas and others do not. So the public interest has a lot to do with that. And we try to program where that is, and then find new areas that that may be evolving. Over the years, things change quite a bit, but some of them just keep happening. Some of our bands just keep touring. I don't know how they do it, but so we have all kinds of assets to bring in. We can get an audience with all the agents, and the thing is the bottom line is it's got to make good business sense, and some things fit. And then you have different bands, they play places just because they're home, like Greta Van Fleet, like Bob Seger, like Kid Rock. I mean, those are people that play this venue, and they can sell more tickets going to another venue, but they want to be in Saginaw.
Yeah, and that's the neat thing about these improvements too, is that you're going to be able to attract more of those type of shows because of the quality of the venue. And I think one of the things too, your listeners need to understand too, when we did the bid art for the Memorial Cup, Steve St. John and his boss Richie McKeegan were in the bid themselves. They were part of the bid presentation. That made a major impact on the CHL site selection committee. They said it's never seen that before. Never seen the quality of the relationship between the team and the facility to be the way it is today. And that's a testament to Steve and certainly to Richie and their group. We try to work hand in hand, try to find the win-win. If it's got to win for him, it can't just win for us. It's got to win for him too. And he feels the same way about the hockey club. So it's an important relationship for our community. And I think it's one of those relationships that really goes kind of under the radar. And we really appreciate ASM Global, the largest manager of facilities in the world, by the way. They manage the Superdome. I can go into a bunch of them there. I don't know all of them, Steve, but there's a bunch of them. You guys are the biggest and the best, and we're very fortunate to have you here in Saginaw.
Thank you very much, and I do appreciate being here and having this opportunity. And this event is definitely, it's a bucket lister for me, and it is something that resume builder if I was a younger man.
Oh, welcome to our world. Well, Steve, look, we want to thank you for spending a few minutes with us this morning. In the days ahead, when you have major events coming into the Dow, as you always seem to, you can always come on and talk about them anytime you want.
Thank you very much, Art. You guys have a great day. Go Spirit.
All right, we'll see you in a while.
We'll see you.
Thanks, buddy.
See you tonight. Take care. Steve St. John, he is the manager of the Dow Events Center for ASM Global. And we will be back, talk a little bit more about the Memorial Cup. And also a reminder, tickets for tonight's game are available. And if you come in right now and mention that you heard it on the radio, you'll get a free hat with 2 tickets purchased. And that's not a bad thing. You can wear that hat with pride tonight. A 401k can be an important asset for many American retirements. You made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years and even decades. Its tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs, but its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers. The little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
This is Dan Streeter, CEO of Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. With Easter behind us, you might think there's nothing much to celebrate right now, but at Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan, we keep the hope of Easter alive all year round. A hot meal served with kindness and respect is often the first step to a new life. When you support Rescue Ministries, you help provide life-changing services to neighbors experiencing hunger and homelessness. Please go to r3monline.org to make a gift today. Remember, there's no place like home unless you don't have one.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right, but right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Moments like hearing my cat purr good morning mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Countryside killers, say your prayers. Sister Boniface is back on the case.
What is it, sister? I think we have our motive for murder.
The Cotswolds' brilliant Detective Nunn returns in BritBox's much-loved spin-off of Father Brown.
So he was electrocuted. Yes. How shocking. Oh.
Season 2 of Sister Boniface Mysteries is now streaming exclusively on BritBox.
Most intriguing.
Undeniably British, undeniably brilliant.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the mitten.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW from the offices of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. Game 4 tonight the second round of the OHL Championship. With me is the president and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. He is Greg Goslin. And Goose Man has offered up a deal for you. Buy 2 tickets, get a free hat.
Absolutely.
So come on in. That's got to be in the store.
In the store here until 11:30.
In the store. So come on in and pick up 2 tickets for tonight's game or more. And they'll give you a free hat. Good deal. Good deal. All right. So let's get back to the Memorial Cup. There are so many channels that need to be taken care of to get this thing off the ground. And,
Yeah.
I mean, you gave me a list of just some of the things that are going on. Special events, arrival ceremony, opening celebration, local event, fan fests, awards. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
And you knew it was going to be hard, but you didn't realize how difficult it was when you first got in it, did you?
It's extensive, and actually, we're representing the Canadian Hockey League. Like, for example, their award ceremony is here on national TV in Canada. So we're going to have that added, hopefully in Frankenmuth, at a location to be determined. And so that's a big event too that comes with the Memorial Cup.
And TSN,
yes,
which is a big Canadian sports network.
Yeah,
it's like ESPN of Canada. Right?
It is the ESPN of Canada. Yep.
They're coming in next week to set up or to pick locations. And
May
decide.
8th, they come in next week. The CHL sends their team in next week to just to help advise us and ensuring that we are getting our priorities all straight in line with what we do first all the way through. So we're putting a sequence, we're putting a critical path together for the Memorial Cup. They've got all that. And right now, of course, they're preparing for the Memorial Cup in Kamloops, British Columbia, which starts in May 22nd, then goes through June the 2nd of this year in Kamloops, which we got a number of people going out to that just to be able to take a look exactly what we have to do to make sure we maximize the opportunity
And
on ours.
people may not realize it, but when TSN comes to town for the Memorial Cup, they bring about 50 people with them. This is not a small operation.
No, they'll bring 50 plus, and they bring a lot of equipment. They bring the big
Trucks
semis and
yeah.
the whole works. Yeah, no, this is the like I say, this is the Super Bowl of major junior hockey, and this is a big deal. The final game of the Memorial Cup will be one of the most watched sporting events in Canada. So that's it takes to get to the finals, but that final game, there's a final game, one game for the championship. And that game is going to be on the Monday, and that game is going to have a tremendous viewing audience throughout the country.
The Memorial Cup takes 10, 12 days. I mean, what goes on in hockey-wise?
Yeah.
What's the sequence of events?
Yeah, from the hockey operation side, you mean?
Yeah.
So what happens is you have a round robin that starts it. So there's 4 teams. Four teams play each other in a round robin, and after the end of that round robin, if there's not a defined fourth place team, so there's 8 games. All right. So after the first round robin part of it all, which is 6 games, then what'll happen is there'll be an additional game. There'll be a 9th game if the 3rd and the 4th place team are tied. And it gets a little bit confusing here, but if the 3rd and the 4th place team are tied, they will then play a play-in game to get to the semifinals. All right. So then they get down to 3 teams. The semifinal teams play each other to play the team that has made it to the final. So it's potentially 9 games. But likely 8 games that will be played during that stretch from May 22nd through June.
Does it spread out and there's off time between and other events going on?
Yeah, there's other events there, and that's where we're going to do a major concert. We want to do some things with some women's hockey teams. So hopefully we're working with that with Dr. Colleen Linehan to make that happen.
And this is so. I mean, these 10, 12 days, it's like a festival.
It's a festival. We have a fan fest that's going to be going on at the Joel Credit Union Event Park. So even if you're not coming down here for the hockey, you can come down here for the fan fest. We'll have the Stanley Cup here on display. All the Hockey Hall of Fame will be here with Phil Pritchard and his group, and they'll have a multiple number of the trophies that are in the Hockey Hall of Fame here in Saginaw in our Fan Fest. We're going to have all kinds of activity and
Stanley Cup going to be here too.
Stanley Cup will be here. Yeah, we'll have the Stanley Cup here, and we're going to have a lot of NHL alumni, a lot of the Saginaw Spirit alumni. We're going to be inviting in 60 or 70 of our alumni to come in to see their billets again and to be part of our community again. That haven't been here for a number of years. So that's going to be another exciting part of what we do at the Memorial Cup.
In conversations with John Shelton from Zenders the other day, as an old tour operator, I asked him if he was seeing bus business, Canadian business coming back, and he said yes. And I made an off-the-cuff remark about, gee, we ought to have a Canadian festival.
And I happen to be listening.
And you happen to be listening.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you ran with that, and you shocked me the other morning in their presentation. Because you're actually looking at doing something like that, aren't you?
I think it's a wonderful idea if we invite all the Canadians in, not just for the Memorial Cup, but to come in and visit the Great Lakes Bay region.
Yeah.
We have so many wonderful, wonderful amenities here in our region with the Bay City Riverfront and with the Midland downtown area and the loons and all the things that we got going on there. We'd like to showcase the entire community, and why not invite the Canadians all to come for a Canadian week, like you mentioned, and I think that's a great idea. And I've already floated that up the channels, and we're going to see if we can make that happen. So I think that I know there's going to be a lot of issues with getting hotel space in Frankenmuth, but we want to fill there's 884 hotel rooms in Saginaw County.
And if
we want to fill them all.
We get them all. And then there's Bay and there's Midland. I mean, there are hotel rooms around.
Absolutely, yeah. And then
we'd love to fill every one of them.
That 884, by the way, is excluding Frankenmuth. They got 864 or something like that. So we plan on doing the best we can to fill every one of them.
Yeah. All right. It'll be interesting to see. And you mentioned shopping parity. I like that idea.
Yeah. No, we want to do it.
Get it.
If we can find a way to do a Canadian dollar at par for a day, the Canadians will come in droves, and that's
that would be fun.
Another idea that we're kind of just laying out there to see if we can kind of pull that off as a community. How do we do that? What does it look like, and what's the strategy? And
all right,
we're working on that.
So, last question about the Memorial Cup. When will tickets become available?
Yeah, it's a great question. Right now, of course, the Kamloops Memorial Cup is coming up here, and usually you don't start selling tickets till that's over. They're sold out. All right, in Kamloops, like we feel we'll be here too. So the NHL takes 1,000 tickets. So we got 5,100 to sell. They get 1,000. The Canadian Hockey League gets 800. That's 1,800. All right. So now that goes to our season ticket holders after that. They may not get the same seat they've got now as a season ticket holder, but they're going to get priority. All right. So there's 1,800 of those. So let's just say 1,500 take those. So that's kind of gets us up there in that 3,500 to 3,700 range. And then it'll be open to the general public after that to help fill the building. So it's that's kind of the syntax of it all. And season tickets holders will get an opportunity to reserve their spot here very soon by just putting a deposit down. And then later on we'll be giving more details as to the location of that seat.
And then the general public better get them early when they become available.
Once they become available, and that's probably going to be sometime in late summer that they're going to become available.
Are they all going to be individual or be packages for the whole series?
No, they'll be packages. Yeah, they'll be packages for the whole series, and then at one time, at a certain point in time, we'll be opening up the tickets for individual games. Right. But we don't expect that to happen with much. There will be a lot of availability there. I think there's going to be most of these will be sold in packages for sure.
All right, and tickets for tonight's game available here at the store, 6321 State Street. Come in, buy two, mention me, and get a hat free.
That's exactly right. Just say Art Lewis. It's got that name's got a lot of power around here.
Just say radio. All right, Goose, as always, look forward to seeing you tonight, and go Spirit.
Thanks, Art. Come on out and see us. Let's win game four tonight.
You bet.
We'll start one at a time.
Craig Goslin, President and Managing Partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. We'll be back after these notes just to remind you about tonight's game again.
The Home Builders Association of Midland invites you to the Home and Outdoor Living Expo. Joint event sponsors Horizon Bank and Dow Credit Union. And support sponsor Rent Right. Saturday, April 29th, 9 till 6, and Sunday, April 30th, 11 till 4 at Dow Diamond in Midland. Visit indoor and outdoor exhibitors. Concessions all weekend. And Family Fun Day sponsored by Lawrence Smith Windows and Doors on Sunday from noon till 3. Hourly giveaways and a chance to win a suite for $20 and a $500 food and drink voucher to a Loons baseball game.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
All right. Sorry about that. We were having a conversation here. Anyway, we just remind you that the tickets are available here at the store, 6321 State Street for tonight's game. Puck drop 7:05. Spirit are down 3-0, but they're not out of it. And the bigger the crowd, the better they feed off the energy in the building. So we would love to see you come on out and support your hometown Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club and cheer them on tonight. Regardless, they've had a great year, great fan support, record crowds. It's probably been the best year for attendance ever. And it will only get better because at least 21 of these kids are coming back next year for the most part. It's going to be an exciting time next year here in Saginaw with not only the team, but the Memorial Cup. So come on out and participate. Be a part of the excitement and the action. Coming up, CBS News and the local report with Michael Percha. After that, it'll be Focus, and Ken Buck should be with us today from Buck Insurance. That is what is ahead this morning here on WSGW.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Steve Kathan. A 6-year-old North Carolina girl is among the victims in the latest instance of a shooting that happened after people ended up on someone else's property. And a 24-year-old suspect is the subject of a manhunt.
Jonathan Robertson says simply,
It was just crazy. Just people are crazy.
he's reacting after a 24-year-old man shot and wounded a 6-year-old and her parents when their basketball rolled into his yard.
So he shot my daddy in the back.
Her 35-year-old dad is in the hospital. Robertson is a neighbor.
We never expected anybody would break a gun out amongst all those kids. I mean, that was just insane.
Robertson says the shooting suspect often yelled at children. Jim Crisula, CBS News, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Now to South Padre Island, Texas. A successful launch of SpaceX's new huge rocket in a test flight with no crew, but then trouble.
The rocket did take off, which was a major accomplishment. It cleared the tower. And then just before 2 minutes into flight, the exhaust plume out of the base of the rocket sort of went asymmetrical. You could tell it was no longer as symmetric as it had been. And a few seconds after that, it started a slow tumble and then exploded. We think the automatic self-destruct system activated.
Our space analyst Bill Harwood says it plunged into the Gulf of Mexico. SpaceX hopes one day to use the 400-foot rocket to send people and cargo to the moon and Mars. At least 2 deaths reported in Oklahoma after storms packing apparent tornadoes tore up homes. Eric Foster of the Highway Patrol is working outside Oklahoma City.
We have to go from place to place and walk up driveways and things like that to search these areas.
President Biden convening a virtual meeting of the major world economies today on energy and climate ahead of a UN conference on global warming at the end of the year.
We all need to show up in Dubai with 2030 targets and actions aligned with the Paris temperature goals.
Walkouts planned today at some Florida colleges and high schools to protest Republican Governor Ron DeSantis' education policies on everything from books to discussions on gender identity. Nikki Fried heads up the state's Democratic Party.
The power always resides with the people and is going to be this generation. This is nothing more than a state-mandated censorship and is a direct assault on academic freedom.
North Dakota's Republican governor has signed transgender health restrictions into law. Providers can't give minors gender-affirming care. Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 47 points. The NASDAQ is down 50 points, and the S&P is down 16. This is CBS News.
Hire with minimal effort and maximum success with Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hi, I'm Jim Blau, owner of Mid-Michigan Canine Academy. As most of you know already, our Redemption Crew has the most effective dog training methods in Michigan, transforming hundreds of dogs and families' lives each year. But you may not know about our premier boarding, day camp, and grooming services. Aren't you tired of booking out for weeks to get your dog cleaned, clipped, and looking sharp? We're taking on new clients, have immediate availabilities, even on Sundays. Book online at mid-michigancanineacademy.com. That's mid-michigancanineacademy.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why pay full price when you know you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out our deals from Bell's Barkery and Boutique, the Highway Brewing Company in West Branch, Bubble Tea Brew House, Daylight Outfitters, Mid-Michigan Garage Door, PJ's Pizzeria in Pinconning, Sun-Knee Fit Club and Martial Arts in Saginaw, and so many more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. It's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
The best-selling Eden Pure Thunderstorm air purifier uses proven oxy technology that quickly destroys viruses, odors, mold, and more. People are raving over how well the Thunderstorm freshens their homes. Any odor will disappear. Odors from litter boxes, trash cans, cigarette smoke, dirty diapers, you name it. And best of all, there's no filters to buy. Right now, you can save $200 on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. Put one in your basement, bedroom, family room, kitchen, or anywhere you need clean, fresh air. Also, it has a USB port for your car or truck. With this special offer, you're getting 3 units for under $200.
Go to EdenPureDeals.com right now and put in discount code PURE to save $200. That's EdenPureDeals.com. Use discount code PURE and shipping is free.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies at 48 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Perchak. Saginaw United High School is a step closer to being completed. The Saginaw Public School officials held a topping out ceremony yesterday where construction crews working on the new structure on Niagara Street placed the final steel beam at the top of the building. Superintendent Dr. Ramont Roberts called the ceremony another step in the journey toward improving the educational opportunities for Saginaw area students. He says the project remains on schedule and on budget, despite some worries about inflation pushing the project over budget last year. The new building will combine students from Arthur Hill and Saginaw High Schools. The $61 million project is one of 4 projects to improve the district, totaling around $100 million. Other projects include remodeling the existing Saginaw High to house middle school students, remodeling Arthur Hill to house Saginaw Arts and Sciences Academy, and building a new handy school for elementary students. A Saginaw man will serve time in federal prison after intimidating people from protesting in support of Black Lives Matter in the summer of 2020. 62-year-old Kenneth Pylan pleaded guilty in December to calling multiple Starbucks stores and telling employees to convey racial threats to other employees wearing Black Lives Matter t-shirts, as well as threatening to kill Black people and leaving nooses in several places, including a protester's vehicle. On Wednesday, Pylan was sentenced by a federal judge to 10 months in prison and 1 year supervised release.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of The Money Pit.
Covenant Healthcare is hosting a career open house this Friday. Job seekers and students interested in healthcare will be able to learn about career opportunities in laboratory, imaging and diagnostics, pharmacy, and nutrition services. Representatives from each area will be present to answer questions and conduct tours. The event is free and open, which will be held at Covenant Medical Center at 700 Cooper Avenue from 11 to 3. Walk-ins are welcome, but RSVPing is encouraged by visiting covenanthealthcare.com/career open house. WSGW News Time 11:07.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of The Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you think you need a new roof, think again. You can avoid replacement and save thousands with RoofMax, the world's first roof rejuvenation treatment. RoofMax is a safe, easy, and affordable alternative to costly asphalt roof replacement, and it's guaranteed. So don't replace RoofMax.
RoofMax, a safe, easy, proven, affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Call Ben today at 859-6751 or go to GetRoofMax.com for a free quote.
Deflected, bury up, score! Spirit fans, it's a win or go home scenario. This is Dylan Clark, radio voice of your Saginaw Spirit. The Spirit are fighting for their playoff lives against the Sarnia Sting, and they need your help. Game 4 is this Thursday, 7:05 at the Dow Event Center. Don't wait. Get your tickets while they're still available and help the Spirit continue the fight. Go to SaginawSpirit.com and get your tickets to Game 4 now.
WSGW News Time 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. The Michigan Senate passed the first piece of election reform legislation related to Proposal 2. It would allow absentee voter ballots for military members, their spouses, and voting age dependents to still be counted if they're signed and dated by Election Day. They also have to be received within 6 days of the election. The bill has the support of a number of agencies, including the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. This is the first bill to pass out of the Senate to implement Proposal 2's election reforms, with more legislation to come. Greater numbers of people are going to counselors for their mental health these days. Oakland Family Services counselor Erica Alexander says the stigma still surrounds seeing a counselor and the real need for seeking treatment, which can be more, such as substance abuse disorder.
Individuals with mental health disorders, whether it's depression or anxiety, have a higher tendency to develop problems with substances. They may find that the substance use is helping them to decrease those feelings, whether it's depression or anxiety. But then the problem becomes it's difficult at times to stop.
Alexander says those issues can exacerbate problems. She expects more people may seek care as high-profile people like the state Supreme Court Justice Richard Bernstein seek mental health care as well. State health officials say tick-borne diseases are increasing across Michigan as the weather warms. The department says ticks can be active anytime the temperature gets above 40 degrees, and the best way to avoid Lyme disease and other illnesses is to avoid being bitten. They say those who find a tick attached to their body should promptly remove it and monitor their health. If they begin to experience fever, rash, muscle or joint aches, and other symptoms, they should consult a medical provider. WSGW News Time 11:10. Here's WNEM First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
For Thursday, we'll see more scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, more activity during the afternoon. Temperatures highly variable for today. So Flint, you'll easily reach the 70s while you stay in the 50s if you're farther up north today. Our southeast wind will start to gust up towards 25 miles per hour. For tonight, a low of 47 degrees, just isolated rain showers and a few thunderstorms. Wind gusts still staying around 25 miles per hour, that wind becoming southwesterly. Then on Friday, a high of 60. We'll have AM rain showers, and that will start to leave the thumb during the early afternoon. Wind slowing back down to 5 to 10 miles per hour. By Saturday, just a few scattered rain showers, a few snowflakes possible, and a high of 52. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Current temperature, 48 degrees.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is presented by RoofMax. That's RoofMax with 2 X's.
And welcome back to another edition of Focus, brought to you by RoofMax. It's GetRoofMax.com, RoofMax with 2 X's for that safe, affordable, and easy alternative to asphalt shingle roof replacement. Or you can call Ben at 989-859-6751, and he'll give you all the information you need about RoofMax. Here on Focus today, we're going to focus on a couple of things. We're going to focus on insurance and the Walleye Festival with the same guy because he's involved with both. He is Ken Buck from Buck Insurance. Ken, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you doing today?
Hey, we're doing well. Thanks for chiming in this morning. We'll start a little bit with insurance, and then we're going to move over to the Walleye Festival that you're involved in quite heavily. Homeowners, they all take out a policy, homeowners, home renters, whatever. They all take out a policy to cover their house. What's not covered, and what can you buy additional coverage for if you're a homeowner?
So again, it depends on the insurance company, but in general purpose, anything that has a separate registration that you own, such as a jet ski, a boat, a snowmobile, 3-wheeler, 4-wheeler, side-by-side golf cart, anything that has a separate registration or leaves your premises on a regular basis, that you don't have automatic coverage for. So you need to schedule that on your policy.
So those
things like a lawnmower, that's motorized and can move around, but generally they just cut your grass and that's it. So you don't really worry about that. But
so when you talk about that, when you say schedule on your policy, are you putting that piece of equipment on your policy, or are you buying a separate policy for that piece of equipment?
It's going to depend on the insurance company, but for many companies, they allow you to schedule that right on your existing homeowners or auto policy. Some companies now, because some of the side-by-sides and four-wheelers kind of go on roads and off roads, some insurance companies are scheduling the physical damage coverage for that on the auto policy and then the liability for that on a homeowner's policy. So that way they don't have to charge for the PIP and all those other fun things that are mandatory under the Michigan no-fault law. And some companies will just schedule that item for both the physical damage and the liability on your homeowner's policy.
But there's another interesting question. You mentioned liability. How does a person know how much liability they need to have insurance-wise?
How much is enough? It depends on you're in the wrong spot at the wrong time and you slide on the ice and all of a sudden the other person is dead. How much coverage do you really need? How much you can be sued for? So 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million. Generally speaking, if whatever assets that you have, I would want to have at least twice that much liability insurance to protect your assets. So if you have a house and cars and investments and everything, and you have like a $2.5 million estate, you should probably have a $4 or $5 million in total liability insurance to protect that.
So there's no one answer, is there? There really isn't.
There really isn't. It just depends on each individual. So if I'm just starting out fresh and I don't have a lot of assets, maybe $2 million is enough for me. But once I've started to accumulate things through my life, I don't want those things taken away because, again, that's why they call them accidents, because you don't intend for it to happen, but the wrong spot at the wrong time, bad things can happen.
The other question I have about the homeowners, what is not covered under Mother Nature?
The two big things that are not covered under Mother Nature is earthquake or earth movement and flood insurance. Flood insurance is covered through the federal government. They have through FEMA, they have a special flood policy. So if you are in a flood zone, you must purchase flood insurance. If you are you have a mortgage, but if you're in a flood zone that's going to be flooded or chances of flooding, you should purchase flood insurance on your own. And then for earth movement, generally speaking, that can be endorsed on any policy, and the rates are based on how often you see an earthquake. Like in Michigan, you can have, or maybe $100 a year, you can have earthquake insurance on it. And then parts of Ohio where they have that fault line and they have a lot more earth movement claims or earthquake claims, that's a little bit more expensive. And if you're talking about out west in California where they have a lot of earthquakes, earth movements, then it's a lot more expensive. You pay sometimes more for that than you do for your homeowner's insurance, but it's important to have.
All right, so we cover floods and we cover earth movement under Mother Nature. But does that mean if there's a 80-mile-an-hour wind that tears off shingles on my roof, it's covered?
Yeah, that would be covered, yes. One other big exclusion is water damage unless there's damage done to the structure first. So
explain that.
You leave your window open, you go grocery shopping, and it just pours, and it comes in through the open window and damages a whole bunch of stuff inside your house. That's not covered.
Okay.
A tree branch breaks the window. Now we have damage done to the structure, so any of the water that gets in after that fact would be covered. The same thing with your roof. If your roof is just worn out and it starts leaking, there's not coverage for that. But a big tree branch falls on the roof, now you've got Mother Nature damaging the roof, and then any resulting water damage resulting from that would be covered. Also, like for water pipes, so if your water pipe bursts, then that is part of your home, and then any resulting water damage would be covered from that. But water backs up from a sump pump or sewer system, there's generally not damage done to the structure to allow that water to come back in the house, so that does not automatically trigger coverage. That's why you have to have a separate endorsement for that.
All right. Hang on. We come back and we talk a little bit about the Walleye Festival that Ken's involved in. Ken Buck from Buck Insurance with us this morning. You know, in this day and age, we're asked to do more for less. So when we spend approximately a third of our life in bed, we really need quality sleep. And you can get that sleep on a mattress from Sanitary Mattress. They've been making custom mattresses since 1935. Rest assured, The sanitary mattress you're sleeping on was made right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Further, the money you spend stays right here in the local economy. In addition, Sanitary Mattress offers 1-hour delivery window of your mattress to your home, so you don't have to wait around all day. Sanitary Mattress can also make a custom mattress for your RV or a boat, something the box stores can't do. Next time you need a mattress, think of Sanitary Mattress. Put them in your GPS at 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, or call them at 989-753-1757. Check them on the web at sanitarymattress.com. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sanitary Mattress Company, where you'll find everything from a crib to a king and everything in between.
Inflation is nothing more than legalized theft. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and to preserve your wealth, I highly recommend keeping physical gold in your retirement account. To learn more, text the word safeguard to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold, which is the only gold IRA company I trust. So text safeguard to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
Chimeric antigen T-cell therapy, or CAR T-cell therapy, is a unique, personalized approach that harnesses a patient's own T-cells and genetically engineers them to recognize and attack cancer. Among patients with large B-cell lymphoma, or LBCL, it's making a difference in this difficult-to-treat blood cancer. Dr. Manali Kamdar is an associate professor of medicine and clinical director of lymphoma services at the University of Colorado Hospital.
The safety profile and effectiveness seen with CAR T-cell therapy reinforces use among appropriate large B-cell lymphoma patients. Advances in treatment have created a shift in the nearly 30-year standard practice, increasing the potential of long-term remission for more patients.
Patients treated with CAR T-cell therapy may experience serious side effects, including cytokine release syndrome and neurotoxicity, which can happen in the first few days to several weeks after infusion. Talk to a doctor to see if CAR T-cell therapy is right for you. For more information, visit bms.com/cell therapy info. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
Spirit fans, it's a win or go home scenario. This is Dylan Clark, radio voice of your Saginaw Spirit. The Spirit are fighting for their playoff lives against the Sarnia Sting, and they need your help. Game 4 is this Thursday, 7:05 at the Dow Event Center. Don't wait. Get your tickets while they're still available and help the Spirit continue the fight. Go to SaginawSpirit.com and get your tickets to Game 4 now.
Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
All right, we're back chatting with Ken Buck from Buck Insurance in Freeland. But speaking of Freeland, there is a walleye festival coming up next week already. Tell us about that, Ken, and tell us about some of the things that are happening.
We are starting a new event this year for the Walleye Festival. We are going to be having a pub crawl.
Oh.
So we have a lot of good restaurants in town, so we have a pub crawl. So starting next Thursday, you can either stop into the Burt Watson Walleye Fish Tent, the 2nd Street Pub, Baines Apple Valley, or the Log Cabin Bar and Grill, and get a punch card for our pub crawl. And then all you have to do is buy a specialty drink at all 4 locations sometime during the weekend, and then turn your card back in at one of those 4 locations, and then you enter a drawing. We've got a lot of really great small businesses in town that we want to encourage people to shop at, and then they have opened their hearts and wallets and given us a lot of gift cards and other fun stuff. So you would be in a drawing for a couple of gift baskets from our local businesses.
And big garage sale starts next week too, doesn't it?
It does. Community-wide garage sale starts Thursday, April 27th. The official start is 8 o'clock in the morning, but some people start their garage sales right at the crack of dawn. So
I'm collecting goods to take to a friend of mine who has a garage sale.
That's good. We probably, I'm sure we have more than 1,000 garage sales throughout town. It's really difficult sometimes to walk and move around town because of all the traffic, and just ask everyone to go slow and drive safe, because we don't want anybody hurt. But the schools have to shut down on Thursday and Friday because they literally cannot get their buses down any of the roads in town to pick up the kids.
Yeah.
So it's a huge garage sale.
And let's talk about the event I'm going to be at Saturday, which is the big car show at McDonald Ford.
Yes, we're expecting a little around 200 cars this year at the McDonald Ford and the Quick Change Oil Lube place. They go from, we've had something from 1908 Model Ts to brand new, really souped up sports cars and everything between, including racing bar stools and bikes. And we had some really amazing motorcycles there last year.
And again, you're going to be located inside the Quick Change Center. I think I'll be there too.
Yep, that's where the registration takes place. The registration opens at 8, and some guys will be there with their cars at 6 to get their favorite parking spot. But registration starts at 8. The show starts at 9, and we encourage the public to come out because there's going to be some amazing cars. That I talked to a few guys, and they have been working like the last year and a half on, with COVID and everything. They needed something to do, so they have been working a year and a half to try to get their cars all up to snuff. And it's going to be, I think, a really good show.
I'll be there from 8 to 11. Looking forward to it, as always. Freeland Walleye Festival, a major event in this area. I lost track of how many years it's been going on now. Do you know offhand, Ken?
It's the 37th annual to this year.
Is it really? Wow.
Yes.
That's a pretty long-running festival, and it's always been a good one.
It is.
And if someone is interested in insurance, how do they get a hold of you?
They can call me at 989-695-2525. They can email me, ken@buckinsurance.com, and I am located at 7585 Midland Road, across the street from Burt Watson Chevrolet, where the main beer tent will be for the festival.
All right. Very good, my friend. We will see you next weekend. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. It's always fun. Thank you very much, Art.
Thanks for being with us today. Bye-bye now. Ken Buck from Buck Insurance. We thank him for his time this morning. We'll take a break and come back and just remind you about tickets for the Saginaw Spirit tonight, and then on to the farm show.
At Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, an evening with James Taylor.
Oh, I've seen fire, I've seen rain.
Friday night,